I really appreciate how you handled the League of Whiners that you have to deal with here. It's a standing job. Don't listen to the idiots out here because
How much do you get?
they're idiots. They're
He's
idiots.
out of line.
They're idiots.
He's out of line. He's
I'm a citizen. Shame on them. Shame on them. And I hope they talk about it at their stupid little taping at the rustic mill. Make sure you get all that.
Hi, I'm here with the League of Whiners who attended the Freeholder meeting tonight. I think John was going to show you a clip of Freeholder Sullivan, former Freeholder Sullivan, who showed up at his official job duty as the director of the Union County Improvement Authority. So he still works for the taxpayers. I believe his salary is about $140. Could be higher than that. I think it's like $140. And this is how he behaves in public. Usually, if you have an executive level decision, you're considered a 24/7 employee. When you're out in the public, you represent the entity that you work for. So Freeholder Sullivan represents the Union County Improvement Authority, and the Union County Improvement Authority and the Utilities Authority, the executive director thinks the publics are a bunch of idiots. If you ask them questions, if you try and hold them accountable, you're an idiot. And this is their executive director, and this is how he acts in public. And I'll leave it up to your discretion as to who's the idiots here. The comments tonight ran the gamut. I mean, all the citizens were attacked, and pretty much, I'll let Bruce talk as well, but at the end of the day, he'll show you the clip, and I said if I stood there and called the public idiots, or if I called Freeholder idiots, you would throw me out. He wasn't even reprimanded. Sullivan was allowed to say whatever he wanted, which is fine. He's just the gift that gives on giving. He's a narcissist. He's obviously missing that public interaction. We haven't geared up to go to Improvement Authority meetings yet. But there are things tonight that, they're coddling of each other. It's just interesting to just, I didn't really pay too much attention. I just had a half an ear open to it. It's interesting to watch from a humanities perspective on how they sort of make it okay in their heads, how they look at each other and try and twist it and justify it, and basically, I'll let Freeholder Sullivan speak for all of them, because they sat there and no one corrected him. He just went on and on calling us idiots and a League of Whiners, he called us, and we're a League of Whiners. Meanwhile, tonight, I know I asked a lot of questions. They had a lot of, as usual, at the end of the year, they throw all the garbage on there. And they did a major restructuring, and I asked a few questions, and I'm going to have to do my homework. It's a lot of work because they're not being very forthcoming. But there were two very simple questions they could have answered tonight, and they chose not to. And I'll just leave it at that and let you focus on that at this moment. I asked, why was Director Graziano given a civil service title? Very simple question. I did not get an answer. I asked, why were county employees issued new vehicles with confidential plates? The plates no longer have a CG on it. So when you see these employees at Lowe's shopping, when you see these employees working on campaigns, you're not going to know for sure if it's a county vehicle. I asked, why did you go ahead and do this all of a sudden, out of the blue? I did not get an answer. So call me a whiner, call me what you will. And I'd like to just add one thing to it. I forget which one said it. Again, I was half listening to it. I was catching up on my internet reading while they're going on and on with their inane comments. But one of the comments was, and I think it was Jalla actually who said it, he said, he didn't name me in person, but he said when people come here and they say that they speak for the public, I guess in his mind, he thinks I do that, or maybe someone else did it, but I never stood at that podium and said I spoke for the public. I have said many times, I don't stand at this podium alone. I am not alone. I never feel alone when I'm standing there. And, just this week we launched our 2014 campaign. We asked families to donate $10 towards, whatever costs we have we don't cater. We pay for this ourselves. We're not the freeholders. We don't cater our rustic mill French fries. We pay for that ourselves. But this is just a response from 1 week of people, and we've got people sending in money through PayPal, and I know from experience, many people are going to send in money. So when I say I don't stand at that podium alone, I'm not saying I speak for these people, but these people obviously like what we do at that meeting. And I don't stand there alone. I am not alone. Whenever we need help, and we need legal help, and we need advice, there are people there to help us. So no, we are not alone. So I don't want them to be comforted thinking, oh, there's just this handful of citizens and they're all alone out there, and those are the only ones that don't like what we're doing. Believe me, I get stopped in the street. People recognize my voice. They know who we are. I think everyone at this table can give you an experience of being stopped, of people thanking us for going to those meetings. And I don't, as an organization, I am the president of the Union County Watchdog Association, and anyone that's on our email list, anyone that's connected with us, I don't encourage people to go to meetings. I'm not telling people not to go to meetings, but it's not an initiative of ours. If there's 5 people there, I think we're very effective at those meetings. If people gave up their evening to go, if 100 people showed up, and we did have about 75 people that came out one time, I did send out an email. I did put an effort to get people there when the ACLU came out in defense of Bruce Patterson being told basically to shut up and sit down. 75 people came out that night, and the freeholders had the same reaction. It meant nothing. It didn't matter that there were 75 people there. They were just as arrogant, especially Sullivan. They were just as arrogant and disrespectful as ever. So I do not put a push out for people to get out to meetings. We make it a point to make sure those meetings are covered on the internet. Anyone can watch them. They could watch our commentary about the meetings, or they don't. Or if they don't want to, then they simply don't. But I don't want them to be comforted thinking that we're all alone. We're certainly not alone. The amazing work we've been able to do, it's obviously we haven't done it alone. We have a lot of experts behind us, and a lot of support from the people. So I am not an idiot. But I just want to thank Freeholder Sullivan and Sullivan and Seb Delia's and those negative, nasty people, George DeVady. Freeholder Hudak's been very helpful, and I almost hate to give them a heads up on it, but their nastiness and their stupidity and their comments and their attacks, they're actually very helpful. So they just help bring drama into it, and thank you. Merry Christmas. Thank you. Keep it coming. Hudak is going to be the chair. I'm expecting great things from him this year. It's going to be, big hoopla, lots of drama for the county watchers, I'm sure, caused by him. All they have to do is answer the questions. I just want my questions answered. Oh, and we were called bullies tonight. We are the bullies. We go there, and I forget who's...
I use the word bully.
You use the word bully, but one freeholder accused us of being bullies. That citizens come here and they're bullies. We bully the freeholders. We call them name and we bully them. Well, you know what? Just answer my questions.